Hey up! This is the Adidas Archive M1, a retro digital watch that's brand new, designed by Nixon, which is a sort of a lifestyle brand that do snowboarding stuff. I think it might be snowboarding. I don't know much about brands and lifestyle-y things. I just like the look of this watch. Now, the reason I like the look of this watch was because I was in the market for a digital watch, and my faithful little Casio started to fall apart. The bracelet broke, and I couldn't get a replacement part. And a whole new watch is only less than £10, so you can't just get the bracelet. So I didn't replace it. I thought I would treat myself to a modern, old-looking digital watch, and you can see there's similarities, aren't there? You can see why I went for that. Now, one of the key problems I have with Casios in general and the G-Shocks is that so much of the watch real estate is given over to static information that doesn't help tell the time. So on this one you can see it, all this stuff all the way around the edge, it's just static writing. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't change. The actual time element is actually very small in compared to the whole watch. I'd say maybe 25% of it is used for telling the time, and the rest of it doesn't move. It's just static writing. That really bugs me about those Casios. So that's why I went for this Adidas. Partly why I went for this Adidas, because the bezel is small, there's no writing all the way around the outside, there's just a little bit of branding there, and then the rest of the screen is just given over to telling the time and the date. And that's all I need. I just want the time and the date. Annoyingly, on the Adidas Archive M1, the date is in the American format, so we've got month and day, and you can't change that. Me being British, I would have preferred the day and then the month, but I can get used to that. It's not the end of the world. We've also got just a little, can you see there, the little day? So there's because today is Thursday. Let's have a little tour of the watch, shall we? It's in a really nice stainless steel, brushed stainless steel. On the edge here we've got some buttons. On this particular model, which is a negative display stainless steel. There's lots of other models, different colours. I think there is a positive display one as well. But this particular one comes with this nice metal bracelet and these coloured buttons, which I think are really cool. So the top button is blue and the bottom button is red. Now, obviously it's very important that I tell you that, because this isn't a video, is it? This is audio, and you can't see the colours. I'm being facetious, of course you can see. So the top button, you can see, has a little bit of writing, so that's to start and stop the chronograph, and the red button resets it. On the other side of the watch we also have two buttons, and these are just black, and these are for the light and to the mode, to cycle through the mode. So we'll just cycle through the modes. There's not many modes to the watch. So chronograph, I'll just start it and you can see it in action. Oops. There we go. And stop and reset. And then press mode again. That's it, actually. That's all there is to it. There is a second time. You can have two times, which you would get to via the mode button. I didn't bother setting that. I don't need a second time. And the top button there is a light. Right, let me just close the blinds and let's see if we can see the light in action. There we go. Now it's very faint, the light. In everyday use, you wouldn't see that. It's only in proper dark that you can actually make it out. But that's okay, that's what you need a light for, isn't it? On the back, bit of branding, and it says at the top, by Nixon, made under license from Adidas. Then we've got the Adidas logo, Archive M1, 50 meters, stainless steel, China movement, I don't know what the numbers mean. It's little screws, 4 screws there. I don't really fancy taking the back off to see what's in there. I suppose one day we'll have to change the battery. And the strap is really nice actually. It's hollow link. Is that what it's called? Hollow links? It's not solid. It's folded links. That's it, isn't it? But it's good and it's easy to adjust the length. You just pop this little bit up and slide it along, and it's got a little bit of branding on the clasp, which looks cool. So I'll just put it on and show you it on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks good. There we go. So it's not massive. It's quite small, but the whole point is that it's a retro digital watch. So let me just give it a little buff because it's got fingerprints on it. So big would be weird if it was a retro style. It sits well. It's really comfortable. Works really well. Tells the time. Nice and easy to read. And actually, the negative display. I did have my doubts about the negative display. I'm not a huge fan of negative displays because they're difficult sometimes to read. But this is very easy to read. Most angles you can easily read it. So it's good. I'll just quickly measure it for you so you can get an idea of the dimensions. Width 36 millimeters and height, I'm not sure where to measure from, but I suppose the face 30 millimeters. Lug width, it's a good 24 millimeters, the lug width there. The bracelet does taper slightly, you can see, only ever so slightly. It's quite chunky. No, it's not that chunky actually. 9 millimeters thick, and lug to lug is just 41 millimeters. Interesting dimensions, kind of modest, isn't it? It's good though. I really like the look of it. I'd kind of prefer if it didn't have the Adidas logo quite so prominent, but apart from that, pretty cool. Now, I just want to quickly show you the box it came in. It's a nice box actually. Bit of branding on the front. Slides open, and then you've got another bit of branding. Slide that open, and then the watch was in here with a little swing tag, and then underneath in there there's a little booklet. A little envelope with a booklet full of stuff, and this. If you know what that is for, let me know in the comments. Is it a screwdriver? No, it's much too big to be a screwdriver. I don't know. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's to adjust. Yes, it's to adjust the strap, isn't it? There we go. So that's kind of cool. I only just realised I'm not the sharpest tool in the box sometimes. So a nice packaging. I appreciated that. I'm not a huge fan of packaging because it ends up in a cupboard somewhere and isn't particularly essential to the owning experience of the watch. But it's a pleasant part of unboxing, isn't it? And it was enjoyable. Anyway, that's the Adidas Archive M1. I would really recommend them. They're really good. It's really fun to wear, and you know, just for telling the time. That's all it does. And you know, I don't need anything else. That's perfect for me. Water resistant 50 meters, so I can have a shower and a little dip in the pool. That's with that on. That's fine. And it's all metal, so it's good for the summer. Doesn't get too hot and sweaty. That's a corker. If you've enjoyed my video, click like. If you didn't enjoy it, don't worry. You don't need to say anything. I understand. I'm not for everybody. Just ignore. There is a dislike button, but I don't think it works properly. I think if you press it, I think it does something to your bank account. So you best leave it alone. Do subscribe, as I said at the beginning, and keep up to date with all my my videos. I do knives and EDC and watches, so that would be great. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.